So COVID restrictions in England just seem to be lifted, but obviously that's not quite the case in Wales. So what do you think about this and the current regulations that are in place here?
I mean, I think everybody's fed up of them. Like, in an ideal world, yeah, I'd love for things to go back to normal, but I think that it's just a bit hasty, kind of changing everything in a moment. It makes a lot more sense to kind of do it slowly, so you can actually keep an eye on everything that's going on. Um, yeah, it just seems like a bit of a, I don't know, a wild decision to be like, yeah, everything's back to normal, but things still aren't back to normal with regards to coronavirus. You can't just change the rules and expect it to go away. Like,
And obviously, because the England restrictions are lifting, it means that the clubs are now opening. So if Welsh people wanted to, they could cross the border and go to the clubs in England. So how do you feel about this? Is this something that you might consider?
I don't think so. It still feels a bit alien. Like, it's kind of, thinking about the lockdowns changing and kind of talking about, well, like, can they come here? Well, they can't do them things here because they're not our rules. But then if we can go there, it makes it really difficult to figure out what you're allowed to do and what you're not. I don't think I'd go. I think I'm quite content with being able to go to the pub as it is now. And I think I'm like past the point of missing it. It's just like, it's that whole new normal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are still quite anxious, really, and going from mask wearing and social distancing to clubbing with loads of people might feel a bit like going from 0 to 100 straight away.
Yeah, if I was in a club, I'd be like, do I want to put a mask on? Like, it's weird, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. So would you still like face masks to be worn, or are you fed up and ready for them to go?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's something that I probably will still wear for a while after perhaps that restriction's gone. I think kind of wearing a face mask has made me realise how much being around other people breathing is gross. And that you just kind of feel a bit safer with it on. But I think it is something that, yeah, like I'd like to think perhaps by the end of the year I wouldn't have to wear one. But I think if they said now, Monday, Wales, everything's gone, I'd still be a bit hesitant about it.
And I know that lots of people haven't had a cold or a flu at all this year, and I'd be interested to know if that had anything to do with, mask wearing.
Yeah, I think it's like the first winter in my life I haven't had a chest infection, and it's just, I can't believe it.
Yeah, and obviously there's the Delta variant at the moment, and people have been saying that even if you're double vaccinated, you still could pick it up. So how do you feel when you're out and about? Do you feel safe?
I do feel safe when I'm out, and I'm not sure why. I think even as somebody that perhaps will continue to wear their mask and not want to go out clubbing and stuff, we've kind of been lulled into this sense of everything's getting better despite that. There is a new variant, and you see in the schools and having year groups shut down and stuff. So it is frightening that it kind of might all kick off again, but I don't know whether it's just kind of like false hope that you're kind of like blind to it all and you're like, no, it's fine, that's not. And there doesn't seem to be as much, it doesn't seem to be played up as much as everything was at the start. So it's difficult to get a grasp, I think, on how kind of bad it is and how dangerous it is. So it's a difficult one.
Yeah, and how do you feel about digital vaccine passports? Say you're double vaccinated and you get something on your phone that lets you go on holiday, for instance, or into different restaurants. Do you think this is a good idea?
I think that I don't think it's something that could happen imminently, because I just feel like not enough of the population has been double vaccinated, and I feel like there hasn't been a long enough kind of run with the new variant to actually see if it is making a difference. I think things need to calm down a bit, and then I think once they've calmed down, it's not going to be something that they worry about as much. Obviously, people are having to get like their PCR tests to go away, and I think that is good, that if everybody's on an aeroplane together, then maybe they know everybody's negative at that moment. But yeah, just because you've had both vaccines doesn't mean you're negative. So I feel like it's a bit of a silly thing. It doesn't make you invincible, does it?